Who's ready for the All-Star game today? I am absolutely 100% ready. It's a weird timing because I'm in Italy. It's at 2 a.m. I've got, look at that. I can't miss it. I don't even have school tomorrow. I just cannot miss it. First thing, pop in the live chat, Team LeBron or Team KD. Let me know who you think will win. But forget about the NBA. We've got Roma to talk about. This is a Roma channel. Now, we've got transfer news. But before we get into these transfer news, I really want to say a massive congratulations to Fiorentina. Fiorentina are such a good team this season. We are lucky that we're playing Fiorentina in one of the last matches of the season and that we're not facing them right now in this very tough moment. Fiorentina are a very good team. They beat Atalanta today. Atalanta's dropping down, yes, but Fiorentina, if I was a Fiorentina fan, I would wish and I would hope in a Champions League spot. Because I think this team deserves it. They've got one match ahead of Juventus, us, Atalanta and Lazio. And they're 5 points from Juventus. If they win the match remaining, they're 2 points from Juventus. If I were a Fiorentina fan, I would hope in a Champions League, I would just glance at the Champions League and go, that's where I'm going this summer. Because they're playing extremely well. So congratulations to them. Now, as you read from today's title, obviously, we can't not talk about transfers. Because, especially after yesterday's match, I think Thiago Pinto has realised everything. We can't, from now on, until the end of the season, next year as well, it's absolutely mental that 2 of our academy players have basically got us points yesterday. And it's weird to think that 2 of our academy players have got more balls than, 11 real, 11 top players, 11, grown-up players who earn how much, per week? I think it's shocking in a way. It's great because it means we have a good academy. Something which I didn't mention in the match reaction yesterday. Our academy team is first in the Serie A youth, and they're leading the Serie A by 12 points. That just puts to mind that our academy team is a very good academy team. And from now on, I would pick some of our academy players to replace some real existing starting 11 players, because it's really mind-blowing that our academy team has got more balls than our actual team, which I find very... Just realize that if Mourinho wouldn't have put Volpato and Bove yesterday, we would have lost. We would have lost brutally, and if it wasn't for them, the reputation between us and the fans would worsen by a lot. So I really should stick posters of Volpato and Bove in front of my bedroom. Because it's just... And if I was Thiago Pinto, I would ask myself, why the hell is this possible? My academy team has got more balls than my starting 11. If I was Thiago Pinto, I would ask quite a lot of questions to myself. This is why Thiago Pinto needs to immediately think about the transfer market. And I can't stress enough, I'm going to say it again, the transfer market this team will perform this summer will basically just give us an introduction of the next season. If we want to achieve our objectives next season, it all depends on the transfer market. Otherwise, it's going to be the same as this year. One of the players which Mourinho has actually contacted personally, and which Thiago Pinto and Mourinho obviously have talked about, is Matthias Ginter, who plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach, is actually the captain of Borussia Mönchengladbach, and actually also plays for the German national team. Now, big reason of why we want him, why Mourinho wants him, why Mourinho has asked Thiago Pinto, to collect some information about him, is because he's a free agent in the summer, which basically means that we don't need to pay a lot of money to get him. We would only need to pay him and his wages. We don't need to pay Borussia Mönchengladbach for him. Now, he is said as the captain of Borussia Mönchengladbach, who, he's not, let me see how old he is. He is, let's see, Ginter age. Ginter is 28 years old. To be honest with you, he's not that old. I thought he was way older. He is the captain, as we said, of Borussia Mönchengladbach. He wants a new experience, he said, and he's not going to renew his contract with Borussia Mönchengladbach. We have a very similar situation to the one which we were talking about a few months ago with Zakaria. Same team, same everything. Same team, same... I'm not sure if they've got the same agents. But Zakaria just wanted a new experience. He wanted to part away from Borussia Mönchengladbach. And he was a free agent this summer. This is why Juventus basically paid nothing for Zakaria, who obviously is now a Juventus player. We have a very similar situation with Ginter. Obviously, the value of Ginter, even if he wasn't a free agent, would be lower than the one of Zakaria. But having him as a free agent, in my opinion, we have to exploit this. All links back to not wasting money. I think even if it was a flop, yes, we could have chosen better players. But even if we buy Ginter and he results in a new, Viña, aka a flop, then we can say to ourselves that it's not a waste of money because we didn't pay Borussia Mönchengladbach. But Matthias Ginter, unlike Viña, we know of him and we know who he is. He is the captain of Borussia Mönchengladbach, and he has also had several performances with the German national team, including this summer in the Euros. He played a big part of that team, so we know how he plays. Mourinho is, directly asking for him because he knows how he plays. I think Ginter is one of those players, one of those situations which it's almost buy one for the price of two. Because Ginter is basically a buy role. He can play in two different positions. He can play as a centre back and he can play as a defensive slash, I wouldn't say attacking midfield. I wouldn't say Pellegrini slash Mkhitaryan style. I would say more of a Sergio Oliveira style, more of a Veretout style. So he can play in these two positions, either centre back or either defensive midfielder. Obviously, these are the two positions where we need to improve the most in the transfer market, especially in the defensive section, because lately we've been conceding too many goals. So the fact that we can, if we can buy a player who can play in both positions, as I repeat, it would be a sort of buy one for the price of two. Now, when it comes to the midfielder section, Mourinho is having a few questions. Him and Thiago Pinto as well, are having a few questions on how to shape the midfielder section. Because big questions right now all lay on Veretout, Cristante and Oliveira. All of these three players are creating a lot of questions for Mourinho and Thiago Pinto to answer. Veretout is not performing well. Mourinho is totally in favour of Veretout being sold for a high price. Just the fact that Mourinho didn't start Veretout yesterday and started Cristante, I think just pictures everything. Mourinho doesn't like Veretout. Veretout was a classic Fonseca player, didn't adapt himself with Mourinho. If a big offer approaches us this summer, then Veretout will be sold. And that's just the way it is. If, Tottenham approaches us for 35 million for Jordan Veretout, absolutely do it. 35 million for someone who didn't perform and who's not performing with Mourinho is an absolute bargain. So a big question is on Veretout. Second big question is on Cristante. Mourinho absolutely adores Cristante. We don't like Cristante. We always say how bad Cristante is, how slow Cristante is on the ball. But the reality is Mourinho absolutely loves Cristante. And I have no doubts on that. Since the very start, Mourinho has always asked for Cristante and has always persuaded Thiago Pinto to renew his contract. Mourinho really likes Cristante, and the fact that he's being chosen over Veretout in several occasions once again just puts that to practice. The big question is, however, will Mourinho's interest on Cristante mean that we will end up renewing his contract and we'll end up basically staying at Roma? That is the big question. because Thiago Pinto, in my opinion, would totally be, in favour of selling Cristante if a big offer approaches. Now, in the last couple of weeks, Sevilla, whose ex-director is Monchi, ex-director of Roma, who's absolutely ruined this club, wants Cristante to Sevilla. The question is, do we sell Cristante or not? If you're asking me, absolutely go for it. Sell him. But if you're asking Mourinho, then Mourinho doesn't like Cristante to be sold. So that's the situation right now. Now, third is Sergio Oliveira. Oliveira, Sky Sports journalists are basically 100% convinced that Roma will permanently buy Oliveira from Porto. The question is, Oliveira in these last couple of matches is really not having it, is not performing well at all. So I am not too sure if Oliveira will end up staying. I think Oliveira needs time. He's coming from a farmers league in compared to the Serie A, so he needs obviously time to adapt in such a new league. But at the same time, he needs to perform better, and especially he needs to grab that attention that Mourinho, wants from him. So that is definitely something which over the course of this summer will be discussed a lot. If one of these players was to leave, then I think that would basically leave a massive corridor for Ginter to come in. As we said before, Mourinho has personally contacted Ginter to try and convince him to join Roma, so that can have an effect to him joining the club. And also, the fact, as we said before, he's a free agent in the summer, so things can be way easier to achieve than, for example, right now, when he's not a free agent and at 28 years old, captain of Borussia Mönchengladbach, plays for the German national team. His value would be quite high. So trying to buying him, basically for free as a free agent, in my opinion, would be a good move from Thiago Pinto. And obviously in these days, another big topic will be Zaniolo. Speaking about Zaniolo, something else which I think is going wrong in the ambience of Roma is the fact that, just to add on to that academy players, lately, after these bad results, I have the feeling the majority of Roma players, starting 11 players, grown-up players, don't care and don't want to help the team. Now, I'm saying this because last week, after these bad results, after being thrown out of the Coppa Italia, after drawing 2-2 against Sassuolo, basically on Tuesday, Rui Patricio, Ibanez, Cortez Perez, and I feel like at least other two players had a party all together to celebrate Rui Patricio's birthday. Yesterday, after terrible performance against Verona in the first half, which, as we said before, if the young players wouldn't have subbed in, then we would have lost that match. Zaniolo and El Shaarawy have been discovered going to a disco yesterday night. I genuinely think these players do not care about helping this team. And I think, once again, the fans don't deserve this. El Shaarawy and Zaniolo have both been, video has been leaked out that Zaniolo and El Shaarawy yesterday night have gone to a disco. After such bad performances, if I was the manager of Roma, I would basically lock them all up in Trigoria. And, not physically lock them up, don't get me wrong. But I would, for a few days, get them all to Trigoria, sleep in Trigoria, and be united with the team. These players don't do it. They draw 2-2 against Verona. Oh, who cares? I'm going to the disco tonight. Piss off. You're having a laugh. That's another problem. And, Zaniolo will be a big question. We've discussed about Zaniolo. Wanting, not wanting, wanting, not wanting, wanting, not wanting to renew his contract. So, there are really a lot of questions to be answered when it comes to this team. A lot. So, right now, when it comes to transfer news, Mourinho has contacted Ginter to try and convince him to join Roma as a free agent in the summer. And as I said before, this summer the transfer market needs to be top notch. Otherwise, next season we'll have the same exact outputs as this season. So, lads and lasses, the situation is this: we have got Inter Milan are losing at home against Sassuolo 2-0. Wow, we've got so many weird results over the course of this game week. Inter losing, Milan drawing against Salernitana, Juventus drawing against Turin, Roma drawing against Verona. We just need Lazio to not win tonight against Udinese. Listen to this. Lazio will not win tonight against Udinese. I can sign on a piece of paper that Lazio will not win tonight. Clip this, because Lazio are not going to win tonight. Will they lose? I'm not sure, but they will not win tonight. I am convinced. Udinese need points. They're playing at home. They're playing tonight in the northernmost team in the Serie A. The climate will be in favor of Udinese. Lazio will not win tonight. You can count on that. Yes. And obviously, as I said before, All-Star game tonight in the NBA. I'll definitely be watching that. Pop a comment in the live chat if you think Team LeBron or Team Durant will win. And in the meantime, I'll read some comments and answer some questions. Isn't Inter interested in Ginter? Yes, not just Inter. Other clubs are interested in Ginter as well. But Inter is also interested in Bremer, Torino player. Which is unbelievable. Last night against Juventus, he basically absolutely closed Vlahovic down in an amazing way. So Inter are also interested in Bremer, and they'll not end up buying both players. So they either buy Bremer or they either buy Ginter. And I know Bayern Munich is also interested in Ginter. Obviously, if you ask me, we can't compete with Bayern Munich. But Ginter has specifically said that he wants a new adventure outside of the Bundesliga. So he could refuse Bayern Munich to change experience, to try new things, to join a club which is not in his home country. If we buy Ginter, we should sell Smalling as he has been shit and he is also injured most of the time. I think we should also buy a goalkeeper who will challenge Rui for the position week in, week out. Yes, I think Rui Patricio though is one of the most innocent out of all the players. I think yes, he did have a terrible mistake against Sassuolo, but at the same time, mistakes happen. These players are humans as well. So I wouldn't personally blame Rui Patricio. I think he is one of the most innocent when it comes to in this bad moment. I think the defense overall is to blame for not marking the players for Rui Patricio in front of Rui Patricio. So that's not necessarily someone I would blame. But Rui Patricio definitely needs to step up. Especially after that match against Sassuolo, where he made a clear error. He's put on all pressure, so he definitely needs to be better. He needs to grow and be better. Lads and lasses, I will catch you tomorrow with another live stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Get this number to 3K as soon as possible. Smash the like button on this live stream as soon as it becomes a video. And comment in the comments of the video your impressions and your thoughts on Matthias Ginter being close to Roma, in brackets, Mourinho contacting him, and what do we think of him? Do we like him? Do we not like him? Follow me on Instagram at @LoreScore_TheSimon_Show. And also, subscribe to my second channel, link is in description below. Let's just finally look at the poll. Right, let's see. 64% of you guys says not bad at all, and 36%